So after a little while on tour together and the surprise drop of their duo tape, Everything Is Love, exclusively on Tidal, that's a discussion for another time. The Carters dropped a stunning but cryptic music video for Apeshit, and luckily for us, that one wasn't Tidal exclusive, so I wanted to take this episode of the Explain series to take a look at the symbolism and messages behind this extravagant video. Before I start, if you like me and my videos, you should all take a second to go follow me on Instagram right here, to stay updated on everything I'm up to, from music to other video projects, but let's get into it. I saw this video as an expression of the idea of black excellence and power, the formation of an African American family, a brand that's on the same level as the big recognizable, wealthy, and powerful white families. And that's a lot to accomplish with lyrics in a video that do what's essentially just a super hyperbolic version of any average rapper's flexing. But the intricate symbolism and the magnitude of the video is what makes it all work. That's just a lot of general talk. Let's look at the video itself, starting with the most important part, the setting. This might be the biggest flex in hip-hop history, but the Carters just casually rented out the Louvre in France to shoot. But this decision wasn't just for them to say, we have a shit ton of money, and establish their black excellence that way, but instead to make a point about their place and the place of black people in the history of great art. It's to say that the hip-hop choreography of the black women dancing and the bars of Beyonce and Hove belong in there with the likes of David's The Coronation of Napoleon and the Mona Lisa. That the new art forms that describe the African American experience can be regarded with the same high esteem and, for lack of a better term, bouginess as the pieces of art that describe the experience of white people throughout history. That there's nothing more fancy or even something more elite about the Louvre's art than Hove's discography, and that they're more similar than people think. Jay-Z has commented before about the significance of the fine art world and his idea of real wealth versus just money and the classism of fine art, but while I made a whole video about that, just looking at the lines at the end of the story of OJ show you that for Hove, and we could assume for Bey, making their fine art their own and then here deeming their own art as fine art is how to breach the wall from rich to wealthy and how to establish themselves as a powerful and influential black family. And just to take a little look at the message of their infiltration of and also independence from the world of the wealthy and predominantly white elite, the positioning of these black bodies on the steps of the Louvre, a place as a Twitter user noted, is deeply rooted in colonialism, is used to not just show that these spaces were built by white people stepping all over black people, but that now these black people have come back and garnered the influence to be present in these spaces themselves, and that they can no longer be ignored. Look through these tweets, which I'll put in the description down below, to see how the specific references to art pieces reference the breakdown of white-centric beauty standards and a criticism of colonialism, but to look at that theme in the lyrics, Hove's comments about the Grammys are a perfect example of how the song and the video come together. He refuses to let his art, which he knows is on the level of fine art, be defined by the white institutions that use them and then shut them out in the first place. He wants to reach the level of the elite, but on his own terms, and he thinks with the brand that his family is creating, he could do so.